اسال مع ميرا.
Hi everyone, welcome to my show. النهارده very special episode. We have here a very special guest, Mr. Majid Safai from Costa Mesa Arya Law Center. Hi, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Actually, we're really we're going to be enjoying the show today. We're going to speak about new subjects we never spoke about. النهارده الحلقة هتكون بالإنجلش. يعني لو حد عنده أي سؤال بالعربي ممكن نساعدكم فيها. هنتكلم على personal injuries، هنتكلم على الفوركلوجر، هنتكلم كمان على الميديكال ميل براكتس. أنا مش عارفة هو إيه ده بس هنتعلمه مع بعض النهارده. كمان هنتكلم على الوركر compensation. I think this one will be a very hot subject, and we'll know about these subjects more with Mr. Majid. Hi, Mr. Majid.
Hello.
Mr. Majid, I know you are the owner of Arya Law Center and the founder of Arya Law Center. Can I ask you how many years of experience?
I've been practicing for a little bit over 20 years.
20 years?
In
okay.
Southern California.
And do you have other team of lawyers?
Oh, yes.
Or you're, okay.
Yeah, we are a team of lawyers and staff, and we are fully staffed office located in Costa Mesa. And of course, from time to time, if the clients needs to be visited, we also go and visit them.
Okay.
And although we are located in Orange County, Costa Mesa, but we cover all of LA County, Orange County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, and Ventura County.
What about other states?
Depends what kind of a case there are.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what kind of cases you take outside of California? I know you do immigration as well.
Yes,
Okay.
immigration is something that we can do, and any case that may be federally related, then we can do. If it's state related, obviously we cannot because we are not licensed in those states.
Exactly.
Yeah, in California, we are licensed.
So I know
to practice.
immigration, any lawyer can practice immigration all over the states. What else?
Bankruptcy is another one that,
Bankruptcy?
yes, that
Okay.
you can practice outside of the state of California. Of course, you have to have a permission from the register with the Federal District Court, which
Okay.
is no problem. But generally speaking, any lawyer in California that has the license to practice law, once they register with federal court, then they can practice federal jurisdiction as well. Yeah.
Okay, so today I know we're going to speak about few subjects, personal injury, medical malpractice, as we said, but I know also you're specialized in a victim. What you call it? Victim something?
Victim of crime.
Yes, victim of crime. Also, we never spoke about this one, and this is today, it's not our subject, but can you give us a very quick hint about the victim of a crime, please?
State of California has a program. It is geared towards people who've been victims of crime. What are the victims of crime? Assault and battery, domestic abuse, child abuse, domestic violence, hit and run, DUI, that somebody was involved in an accident with a drunk driver that fled the scene, and kidnapping, trafficking, and all of them falls into victims of a crime. And murder, of course. Of course, when the person is dead, the relative of that victim can be qualified for this program. Also, cyber, some of the cyber attacks and stalking, those can be other victims of crime.
And what's the benefit of the victim of to be
the
a
benefit
victim of
is if you are qualified for victim crime, the state program pays for all of your medical expenses, and if the relocation is needed, then they pay for housing to relocate that individual, the victim, and all of their immediate family that are affected by this crime. Yeah.
So you can do like your legal papers through victim of crime.
Yes, and the good thing is that it doesn't cost the victim a penny.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so I never I personally spoke about victim of crime, but I just figured out a few months ago that there is a victim of crime. Let me explain in Arabic very quickly. لو أنت كنت ماشي مثلا في الشارع أو حد من أهلك حصل له أي عنف أو أي ضرب أو أي حاجة وأنت ما عندكش ورق قانوني أو أنت مثلا اتجوزت حد على ورق وكان بيعاملك بطريقه وحشه وسابوك او سابك جوزك او مراتك، ممكن تروح وتعمل فايلنج فور يور سيلف وتبقى فيكتيم اوف كرايم، بتتعاون مع البوليس شويه وبتاخد ورق وتقعد قانوني في البلد، which is a great program. We never spoke about it in my show before. Thank you so much for that. In general, Mr. Majid, what the most common cases you've been working with all these 20 years?
Well, because we are a fully staffed office and then with the different lawyers, we cover area of laws and practice.
Okay.
But mainly our office is involved in all types of personal injuries, maybe car, slip and fall, or any other types of personal injuries, assault and battery, foreclosures, workers' compensation, immigration, family law matters, divorce, child custody, child visitation, spousal support, and so forth. And also we do bankruptcy when people are in desperate need of getting relief from their debts. We do bankruptcy as well. And victims of crime, of course, we do as well. And other real estate and business matter. People have bought a house or they get involved in a business relationship. The business relationship is going sour and one of the party is being defrauded. Business dispute, we also handle those kind of things as well.
Okay, and like you told me about the personal, okay, we're going to speak first about the personal injuries.
Sure.
When we hear personal injuries, like personally, I feel that I was working someplace and I got injured. Do you mean also outside the work or only inside the location of your job?
Generally speaking, when you talk about personal injuries, people relate it to auto accident. But in reality, it's more than auto accident.
Okay.
Slip and
Auto
fall.
accident,
Yes.
okay.
Slip and fall is a personal injury.
Yes, true.
You are going to a store to do some shopping, the floor is wet, you slip and fall and you injure yourself. That is part of personal injury.
Okay.
Any injury at work, although it is personal injury, but falls onto the category of workers' compensation.
Okay.
Workers' compensation is a program mandated by state of California that employers must have a special insurance called workers' compensation insurance in order to cover any employees that get injured at work or during their scope of employment. Okay. And of course, we can go through details if needed.
And how do we know that we have worker compensation, our company, or not? Is that comes with our like paycheck or something?
No. Your employers are supposed to have it, and if they don't, it is in violation of law. And if one of the employees gets injured at work and they don't have workers' compensation, then the state program, uninsured state program will cover that injury, but go after the employer for the cost and penalty.
Penalty, okay.
Yes.
So let's start with the personal injuries. Okay, we're like driving our car, and someone hit us from the back, or we hit actually by mistake someone car and we hit him. What the procedure here?
Good question. When you are involved in a car accident, now these days everybody has a cell phone. One of the things that I would recommend, of course, after people have stopped their cars, the vehicles, take pictures of your car, the damage to your car, and the picture of the other party's car. Whether it is your fault or not, whether you hit somebody or somebody hits you is irrelevant, but take pictures to cover yourself. Why do I say that? Let's say you were involved in a car accident and later on, 3 weeks later, the other party is claiming that the damage to their car was high and then the cost of repair is substantial. But if you had taken the picture, you could have proved that, no, I only hit the fender or the bumper or the rear trunk lid, and it's not that much. Perhaps the the other car had prior damage that they hadn't fixed. So having the photo shows the extent of the damage that you might have caused to the other vehicle, as well as shows how much damage to your car, and if they hit you. So let's say somebody hit you from the back and rear-ended you, and then you file a claim for $5,000 for car damage. They say, no, this damage was from prior accident. There's no way to prove it unless you have the photo that shows, no, these are fresh damage that matches the impact that the other car caused to your car. So taking pictures and also all the information, the driver license, insurance information, and the license plate of the car, all are important. And if there's any witness at the time of the accident, at the scene of the accident, it is important if you can get the name, telephone number, or address of the witnesses. That can help you for your claim if there's going to be any dispute in the future.
Okay.
And of course, when I said you take pictures, the first thing that is important is that if there's an accident, please make sure that you park somewhere safe. Okay. You and the other drivers park somewhere safe, not in the middle of the freeway or in the middle of the street, yes, getting out, because you may cause other accident or you may get injured by other passing cars. Exactly. So it is important that when you are going to do exchange of information, taking pictures, you are on the side of the freeway or on the street on the side, therefore away from any immediate harm.
Okay, and most important, witnesses.
Yes, if there is witnesses.
If there is witnesses.
Normally, if you are driving on the freeway, on the street, there are witnesses, but many of them just pass by. You don't get a chance to stop them or ask them questions. Once in a while, if the accident is severe, a good Samaritan may stop to help, exactly, and then that becomes a witness.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I think we have Mr. Amir with us.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, hi, sir.
Hello. Good evening, Mira, and good evening, Mr. Majid.
Thank you.
I'm so glad for your show, and actually, I do have a question. It's very close to your issue right now, but I was wondering, let's say if I hit someone and my insurance policy only up to $25,000, let's say like premium liability insurance coverage, usually it's the minimum is $25,000, and the guy came after me for more than $25,000, which is beyond my limit of my insurance policy. So now, did this person or however get injured, he might go after my property, after my job, or it end at the $25,000? That's one question. And also, I do have another question for you in real estate law, if you don't mind.
No problem.
Yeah, I'd like to know a little bit about 1038 transfer, how that works, and legally without having the IRS to run after me. If I own a property somewhere outside the city of Los Angeles, for example, and I own another property and I'd like to sell one and transfer to buy another one without paying taxes. This is the two questions I have for you. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate if you can answer me.
Thank you. Before you hang up, on your second question, at the very beginning, I did not hear you clearly. Your question is about transferring property from yourself or from another person to another without paying taxes, correct?
Okay. There is a form, I think, a tax form called 1038 transfer.
Oh, you're talking about 1031 exchange.
31, 1031 exchange. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's too many numbers, so I meant that. Yeah, I want to know exactly what's the procedure, how long it takes, because I've heard tons of information from different real estate brokers and real estate salesmen, and I didn't get it clear because it's very tricky, and I want to know how long it takes. And some of them said you have to have a ready property before you go into escrow, before you sign the first escrow. Let's say if I own it, let's say right now I'm selling my property out in San Francisco, and I'd like to buy another property right here in Southern California. So what he said, before I open my escrow here in Los Angeles, I have to have the address of that property in LA added to the escrow in San Francisco, because this is the location I'm going to be buying in Los Angeles, and this is where the money is coming from, San Francisco to Los Angeles. and I'm kind of like iffy in this situation. I'm not really sure how that works. So I really want to know, do I have to have a physical address here in Southern California before I fill the one, or before I open escrow, or how long it takes? Let's say if somebody's selling me a house right now in Los Angeles and the guy, he won his money today, and I have an issue up in Sacramento and my house is not sold yet. So he might say, forget it, I'm gone. So here you go. I have my address here in LA, put it down in my escrow up in San Francisco, and all of a sudden the guy walked away from me. I am in the street. I'm trashed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay, I got you. First of all, about your personal injury case.
Yes.
If you are involved in an accident and happens to be your fault, and you have a limited insurance coverage, and the claim filed by the other driver exceeds your insurance coverage, two things may happen. One, your insurance obviously will only cover what the policy is written for. If it's $25,000, that's all they will. And if there is any balance, then obviously the other driver either forgoes, i.e., that is to forgive and then just accept that one, or if they don't accept, then they will file a litigation, come after you, and then get a judgment. And if there is any judgment, insurance again pays up to the amount of the coverage, and you will be liable for any balance left. My recommendations to viewers are, if you have a home, or you have valuable assets, business, or you have a high income job, please make sure your coverage is not at minimum. The more assets you have, the better off you are to have a higher coverage, just in case, God forbid, you involve in an accident, and then the cause and the cost of the claim is substantial. So in order to make sure to have a peace of mind, get a coverage that adequately covers any potential damage. If you have a house, why don't you...
I have another, since you already went through this one, there is any type of trusses I can have my equity in a trust which cannot be touched by any lawsuits in this case.
Okay, you brought an issue of trust, which is totally different. Trust is created for different purposes. Some people create trust just to protect their assets to a certain extent, which could be fine. Right. But in order to have a proper trust, certain elements and must be taken into consideration, which I guess if we have time we can talk about it, otherwise it will be for another program. Now, if you want to cover your property, rather than creating more paperwork and more legal expenses for yourself, perhaps you're better off to have an umbrella coverage. What is umbrella coverage? Those who have real estate, they get an umbrella coverage which not only covers their house, their car, and any possible other claims that somebody may have against them. And that would be a kind of a wraparound coverage that even if you somebody comes to your house, get injured, it is covered. If you are involved in some kind of assault and battery, it may cover the other party. So a general liability umbrella coverage may work for you better than having a low auto insurance coverage and then creating a trust in order to cover your house from any potential lawsuit because you were involved in an accident that the claim was higher than your coverage. That would be the best way to go if you have a house. I mean, that would be my suggestion to anybody who has a house and has an automobile and are afraid of getting involved in an accident.
Well, it can happen. It can happen if anybody sue me.
Yes.
Sure, if anybody can sue me, he can go as high as he wants as long as he knows I own a house or I own whatever.
Not necessarily. In order for them to make the claim, they have to make sure the claim is proper and justified. The injuries that they are claiming are true and there is no exaggeration or false claim. So
right. I mean, sometimes you're driving on a highway and never know if you're speeding and you hit a car and the guy lost his eye, lost his hand. Of course, in this type of claim, that's the numbers exceed way beyond limit. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
So the umbrella insurance, I can get an umbrella insurance that cover everybody from the fire insurance company, or this is a auto insurance company? They have this type of umbrella?
You can talk to your insurance agent and say, I want an umbrella coverage, and they know what to offer you. Yes.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now,
that will cover the first question.
Yes, and now on your second question, which was about transfer of 1031 exchange. 1031 exchange, in order to get benefit from 1031 exchange, when you sell a property and then you are buying another property, your second property must be equal or higher in value of the property you're selling. For example, you are in escrow, you are selling a property for 500,000. In order to take advantage of 1031 exchange, the other property that you are buying must be 500,000 or more.
Or more.
Yes. Now,
so what happened if I found it less than 500,000?
Then you are subject to capital gain tax, assuming you did have any capital gain. Now, even that one.
Okay, well, hold on 1 second, please. Let's say this is you brought me in a very, very, very important area right now. Let's say the property I'm selling in San Francisco worth about 700,000, and I'm buying a property right now worth 700,000. So there's 200,000 between 5 and 7. There is 200,000 difference. So now, do I go? The tax is gonna charge me in capital gain of the 200 only, or is gonna charge me for the whole amount because I don't waste the whole amount for transfer?
It will be for the difference, but the answer is yes and no. You can be taxed or you cannot be taxed. Why do I say that? There is a rule that if you sell your property, and it's a one-time rule in your lifetime, and if you are over a certain age, 50 I think and up, and the value of the gain single is about 125 or 150, married is about 250K or 300, you are not subject to tax. So if you fall into that category, you don't pay tax.
I'm sorry to stop you right here. That's applied to the residence homes, right? Not the business homes.
Yes.
Okay.
On business, unfortunately, if the property that you're selling is greater than the property you're buying and there's a capital gain tax, then you may be subject to tax. But then again, you need to talk to your tax accountant. He may have some legal loopholes for you to pay minimum amount of tax, or there may be some legitimate business expenses that can be deducted that prevents you from paying too much tax or little tax at
so,
all.
Mr. Majid, the lawyer can't help with this expenses or to be alleged expenses?
If you're talking about the 1031 exchange?
Yes, exactly. Can you direct the CPA or the accountant what he can do or he can't?
Well, 1031 exchange, a seasoned accountant should know about.
Okay.
And you don't need a lawyer for that.
Oh, you don't need a lawyer
yes,
for that. Okay.
You don't need. The accountant can take care of it.
Okay.
And this is something that even escrow officers know about it. Okay. So, but if you're concerned about tax, either you go to a tax accountant, or if you are worried about paying tax, then you may want to go to a tax attorney. But in order to avoid any unnecessary expenses, first talk to your accountant and get their idea, especially if they're tax accountant, CPA, then takes the next step.
Okay, Mr. Amir, thank you so much. If you have any further question, I encourage you to speak to Mr. Majid at his office. And his phone number is 877-279-2523. And what?
One question, one statement that I was going to add about 1031 exchange.
Okay.
You have certain time after selling your property to still be eligible for 1031. You don't have to have it right there and then. Let's say you sell your property and I think it's about 9 months or a year to be able to buy another property and take advantage of 1031.
Okay, Mr. Amir?
Yes, I think it's 6 months. I think that's the area which is I got confused because I got different answers. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
I think it's a 6 months.
But it doesn't
an extent to 6 months.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be immediate that while you're in escrow, you open another escrow. You have some time because many people sell a property and they cannot find the right property to buy. So that's why the law allows them certain amount of time.
Or you put it right now, the business in Southern California to offer. So you put an offer in a house, and all of a sudden a guy came and he put $10,000-$15,000 above you, and here you go, you lost the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you very much for your answer, and definitely I'll get hold of you in your office.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your answer, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Amir. And guys, our phone on 919-391-7000. You can call with any question. Actually, Mr. Kamal just called and he said, I was going to the freeway. Someone hit me from the back. My car is total, like it's. But I feel some pain in my body. And I never went to the doctor. Now one of my friends told me I can get up to 200,000. Another person told me I can get only 10,000. Can you tell me the truth about how much I can get, and should I go to the doctor or not?
First of all, if you are injured, definitely go to the doctor regardless of claim. Number one thing is that to take care of your body. If you are injured or you feel that you have a neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, please go to the doctor regardless of any claim. Whether it was your fault or somebody else's. Taking care of your body and your health is number one. Secondly, how much you can claim. Please, please, please do not listen to everybody, because people come with different ideas and poison the mind of the individual. What you can claim depends on the severity of the accident and how much damage you received. What am I talking about? Medical expenses, and whether you lost income because you couldn't go to work, and you lost other opportunities. These are all needs to be calculated, and then there's a figure that your attorney or yourself can come about. And if somebody comes and say, oh, you can collect $200,000, that is totally not accurate. For one thing, if the person has an insurance of $15,000 or $30,000 liability coverage and doesn't have a home, doesn't have a good job, you are out of luck. So you cover what the insurance offers. But again, first go to the doctor, take care of your body, assuming you are injured and you don't feel good, and have your car fixed. If you have your own insurance that covers, you have a fully comp insurance that covers your own repair, have it repaired, then your insurance goes after the other party's insurance to cover the cost of repair. If you don't have that kind of coverage, you only have a liability insurance, then file a claim with the other insurance company to have your car repaired, go through the medical treatment, and once you receive the medical bill, then that can become a foundation and a base for you to demand damages. Again, if you have lost wages because you couldn't go to work, that can be recovered as well, plus any other damages that you might have sustained.
So let's say he has a full coverage, I'm not sure, but can he claim in the other guy insurance and his insurance as well in one time, or not?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Some insurance has coverage for your own medical, even though the other party has insurance. But then again, they may come and ask for reimbursement if you get coverage and payment from the other guy's insurance. So you can receive some medical payment. I think standard is about $5,000 or so, that the maximum they give per injury. And but once you recover from the other side, they expect you to reimburse them at least a portion, because it will be double recovery, and no insurance company likes double recovery.
Okay, so one more question about the personal injury, so everyone is clear about that. Sometimes we, like some people, they go to the store, and as you said, there is a water, and they slept, and they think that, you know, they're going to get millions of dollars or something. So what the procedure we should take if someone seriously injured in one of the stores when he was like shopping or something?
First of all, this is an unfortunate event that somebody gets injured in a store or anywhere else, and nobody gets rich off of falling in a store and millions of dollars. These are all fantasy. Okay. And but do people get compensated for the damages and pain and suffering and injuries that they sustain? For that, they do get coverage. Now, if you happen to fall, slip and fall in a, let's say, one of the chain supermarket, and first you have to prove that there was something on the floor that caused you to fall. Normally, if you fall, it is a good idea to have the manager of the store come and then take a report. That report is very important because it documents when, where, what time, and what happened.
Also pictures maybe as
if there is, and also if there's any witnesses.
Yes.
So that helps your claim if you have a claim. And whether you can cover X amount of dollars depends on extent of your injury and other damages that you have suffered. Loss of income because you couldn't go to work, and so on and so forth. But it will not be millions of dollars as some people say. Again, this is just...
Okay, but it's always preferable that you go to a lawyer who understands the procedure and work with him, right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, if you are injured, it would be good to seek a legal counsel advice before you talk to the insurance. Because once the insurance company calls you and they take your statement over the phone and they tape it.
What kind of insurance company
Let's say you have a slip and fall at one of the stores, and then the insurance company will call you.
This store.
Yes.
Okay.
They say, okay, what happened? They take a statement over the phone, and it is taped.
Okay.
Now, if you make a mistake, then it may come and haunt you later on, that you want to say claim. So it would be good to get a legal advice. Therefore, everything goes correctly, and minimize any misunderstanding or mistakes.
Okay, so if it happened for me yesterday and I found a call like today from the insurance company, what should I say? Like, let me speak with my lawyer first and then I will talk to you, or like refuse to give a statement?
First of all, it depends on the extent of injury. If you just slip and fall, you honestly and truly didn't suffer anything, just move on.
Just move on,
But if you really have been injured, which means you are in the hospital, so they cannot even call you.
Yes.
Or you're on this immediate medical care, so they cannot call you. It takes a while for them to call.
Okay.
So it depends on the situation and the scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we like mainly covered very important areas in the personal injuries, right?
As far as the slip and fall is concerned, an auto accident, I believe we did, unless somebody has any questions.
Okay, so let's move on to the worker compensation. So again, every person get injured at work for any reason. They think that they will compensate them for millions again. So can you tell us what kind of injuries it's really compensated and what if it's not? And also I got, when I did the advertising last week about this show, someone told me someone, the manager or something, like discriminate or assault her in front of her like colleague, and she was so embarrassed. So what the procedure for this one too?
Okay. Workers' compensation, as I stated earlier, in the state of California, not every state has workers' compensation. For example, Texas doesn't have workers' compensation. Workers' compensation in the state of California is designed to protect the employees, regardless of what type of job it is, from any injury during work. Now, what are the injuries? It can be a physical injury that you are working with the machine and then something went wrong, you got injured by the machine, lost a hand or bleeding, broken bone, or falling at work because there were some wires or some dangerous condition and caused you to fall and get injured. Or it can be psychological. If you have a manager or a boss that is taunting you and creating a hostile environment that you have to seek therapy for that, that is workers' compensation.
Okay.
Sexual harassment could also be a workers' compensation.
To be proven.
Well, yes. And then also discrimination if you have a boss or somebody that keeps making derogatory statement towards a certain ethnicity that you happen to be member of that ethnicity, that can become a workers' compensation case because it is hurting you and it does not allow you to do your job. So you may have to seek medical treatment for that. In any case, once the injury occurs, the first thing the employee should do is to report it to the HR, human resources, or to the boss. And there's a form that normally they have to fill out. And then once that form is filled out, they are sent to the doctor. Who's the doctor? By law, the workers' compensation insurance has the right to send you to their own doctor. It's not the doctor that works for them. It's a certain doctors that are associated and they are just part of the medical plan of that insurance company that they send you to for treatment. They examine you, diagnose, and then come with a set of treatment. For the first 90 days, you have to go to that doctor for treatment and all medical treatment that needed. After that, you may have the right to go to your own doctor. Now, about the compensation. If you're injured and the doctor says you have to be off work for a certain amount of time, then you are entitled to temporary disability payment, which is the 2/3 of the amount of compensation you were getting. Let's say you were getting $600 a week as a wage or salary. Now you have to be off work for a certain number of weeks. 2/3 of that 600 will be your weekly salary that you receive until you're well enough to go back to your job. And some people, because of the injuries, they can go back to a job, to work, but it's subject to restriction. They cannot do the same job, and the doctor says they cannot do the same job. You have to give them a modified job. And of course, if there is such a modified job available, then the company must allow them to have that done. As far as how much they receive, depends on disability. If at the end of the treatment, they are still disabled, that means they are not 100% well as they used to be before the injury, then the doctors have got a table that comes with a ratio and percentage of disability. Each part of the body has got a rating, and all of this goes into a formula and a tabulation, and then it will be decided how much of a disability that person has, and based on the table and tabulation, how much compensation they are entitled to receive, which the insurance company will, of course, fight it at the beginning, but at the end of the day, they come to a settlement agreement, and then they compensate that employee. Now, whether that employee can go back to the old job or not depends on the type of job and depends on the injury and extent of the treatment. Yeah.
Okay. What about if you just you made like a lawsuit against your work? After that, they want to fire you, or they don't want you to be at this work anymore.
It is a big mistake for an employer to fire you because you filed a workers' compensation. Okay. That is retaliation. Now you have additional cause of action.
Okay.
They should not do it.
Okay.
Now, if you resign because you don't like this area, that's a different story. And if you don't like your employer after what happened to you and you voluntarily resign, there is no cause for you.
Okay, so we got a call from Miss Nihal, I guess her name, and she said like 4 months ago she broke her hips in work because they were putting like many chairs by mistake in the way, and the manager told her take few weeks, and if you want to go to the doctor I will pay your expenses. After those few weeks she came back to work. No one told her about compensation, and she's been working but she's not feeling well until now. So she watched our show now and she's asking you, is it 4 months is too far to ask about compensation or not?
No, she can. And apparently when the manager told her, oh, go and take a few days off or take a few weeks off and then go to doctor, I'll pay for it. Now, when they say I pay for it, I need to know, did the employer pay for it or the insurance for the employer? Okay. If the employer paid for it, that means they don't have workers' comp. Or if they do, they don't want to file a claim because the insurance may go up. Okay. But it is not too late for her to go through the proper channel of workers' compensation, receive the proper treatment, and if at the end of the day, after treatment, she's still disabled, then receive the compensation for permanent disability.
Okay, so how long, like, I can go to ask for my compensation? Like 1 year, 6 months?
Depends on the scenario and the facts of the case.
Okay.
But let's say you got injured at work, you didn't do anything about it. 6 months later, you say, oh, 6 months ago I fell or I got injured, now I want to file a claim. Okay. Obviously, it doesn't look right because what happened in 6 months? You didn't go to a doctor, you never said anything about it. Exactly. So that becomes a little bit.
So always going to the doctor is very important, or emergency room or something?
Yes, a reasonable person when they get injured, regardless of coverage, they go and take care of themselves. If you don't, that means perhaps you weren't that seriously injured.
Okay. So let me try to translate very quickly. اوكي احنا كنا بنتكلم على الوركر كومبنسيشن اللي هو انت لو موجود في شغل وقعت او كعبلت او المدير بيحاول يضايقك او يعني discriminate you او اي حاجه، انت ممكن تاخد worker compensation، ودي احسن حاجه انك تروح لمحامي متخصص، ومستر مجيد متخصص في الحالات دي الوركر compensation. وزي ما قلنا لو عملت حادثه او اي حاجه دايما تروح للدكتور، تروح للامرجنسي روم علشان تثبت ان انت عندك حاله او وقعت او حصل لك اي حاجه، والمحامي بتاعك ممكن يفايل كيس بعد كده ويقدر ياخد حقوقك. ممكن يكون عندك حقوق ومش عارفينها. Okay, the most common question, like how much I'm gonna get. Like some people, you know, even if they are like already harmed and, you know, injured and they're suffering, but they're thinking about numbers, you know.
Okay, this is how it works. How much you get are based on a few factors. One, your age, type of jobs you were doing, salary you were making, which part of your body got injured, how many percent of total body injury you got.
Okay.
And all of this go to the formula, and based on that, you are entitled to compensation plus rehabilitation. Rehabilitation, which is prepare you to do another job, maximum is $10,000 voucher.
How much again?
$10,000 voucher for
Okay.
rehabilitation.
Okay.
Also, if you require future medical,
Okay.
if you do require future medical, the cost will be also included in the claim that you are asking and you are going to be receiving. Now, the extent of injury obviously is important. If somebody, because of the injury, becomes paralyzed from waist down and they're young and they cannot work and they were making X number of dollars, obviously that compensation will be more substantial.
Okay.
But if somebody was doing janitorial work and then now they have got 10-15% disability because of the injury, then compensation obviously will be lower.
So the compensation, I know it depends about these facts. Also, can I work with myself doing that, or it's better for me to go to the lawyer and what the lawyer will add to my case?
What lawyer can add to your case is
Yes.
to make sure the proper procedure
Yes.
are followed and negotiations
Yes.
are done properly, and also your interest is protected. For example, did you have all the medical treatment that you needed? Did you go to the right doctor? Did they compensate you for the temporary disability? Did they compensate you for all of the traveling you did back and forth to the medical doctor? Because you're entitled to receive mileage. Now,
Okay.
you can do it yourself, but
And lose
good
lots of
luck.
money.
Good
Yes.
luck to receive as much as you wanted before, because it can be very complicated. If it's a minor injury and there isn't much of a treatment, that's a different story. But if you have seriously been injured, my strong recommendation is please seek a legal advice.
Exactly, and always lawyers are great negotiators, honestly. So let's move on to the one of the important subjects right now as well, the foreclosure. So foreclosure, that's when you not sell.
Foreclosure is when you fall behind on your
You
monthly
lose,
mortgage.
yes, you lose your house.
And then the lender has the right to come and foreclose on you, which means they go and put your house for auction, for sale, and then they're supposed to sell it to the highest bidder.
Yes.
And if there is any residual amount left, then they're supposed to give it back to you.
Okay, and when the owner or the bank or whatever, like who owns the house, can step and tell you, okay, I'm getting this house back because you've been like X amount of months couldn't pay your mortgage. Like, is it 2 months, 3 months?
Normally, in the state of California, when you're behind 3 months, the lender has the right to issue notice of default.
Okay.
Which comes in a certified mail as well as regular mail that says, notice of default, you are behind that much, pay. If you don't pay, we may take further action, i.e. foreclosure. And then if you ignore, you don't pay, you don't work with them, whatever the case may be, then you will receive a notice of trustee sales that they want to sell. They have to post by law a notice of trustee sale at your door, as well as serve you 21 days before the scheduled sale date. If you don't receive it, then there's a defect in the foreclosure procedure.
Okay, so
And
how
then-
we can save ourselves from this foreclosure?
There are a couple of ways. One, start a loan modification. If you have a hardship, don't sit and do nothing. Do a loan modification process. Two things happen. One, it stops the foreclosure based on California Homeowners Bill of Rights, which was passed January 1, 2015. And while you're in a loan modification process, the lender is refrained by law, California law, to take any action to start the foreclosure proceeding. So that, and hopefully you get a result of you get approved for loan modification, and you can save your home. And secondly is that if you can pay off the past due amount, you are 10 months behind, and let's say it's $50,000 that you haven't paid your mortgage. If you pay it and bring it current, they cannot foreclose on you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the bank step in the house, they take it from you, they put it in the sale or the auction. Can you go and try to buy it again?
If your house is being foreclosed and there is a foreclosure date, let's say June 1 at 1:30 in front of courthouse so-and-so, and then people are going with cash, cashier check, about 10-15% of it, and then they put a bid. The highest bidder can buy it. You may be the one to buy it back, but some lenders may not want to sell it back to you. Perhaps you take your relative or friends or somebody.
Okay.
But that will be a risky way of doing it, because you never know whether you are the highest bidder or not.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to be auction.
Auction, exactly.
The highest bidder, yes.
Okay, so let's take Mr. Latif first with us on the phone, and I will be back to this point. Mr. Latif, اتفضل.
مساء الخير استاذه ميرا.
اهلا يا فندم.
ونور الشاشه، وكنا دايما بنسال عنك لما كنتيش موجوده. وربنا
Thank you so much. اشكرك يا فندم. Thank you so much.
عندي سؤال للاستاذ مجيد. عندي بنتي في اللانش تايم او في البريك بتعرف تاخد تقريبا ساعه الا ربع او 50 دقيقه بريك اللانش تايم، فبسمح لهم ان هم يطلعوا بره المدرسه، بره البيلدينج.
اوكي.
فهل حصل لها ان في دكتور من الكونستراكشن وقع عليها اثناء اللانش تايم؟
اوكي، حضرتك ايه اللي وقع عليها؟ حته من السور؟
سور كان في مبنى بيتبنى يعني.
اوكي.
بيتبنى.
فين بقى بيتبنى يا فندم؟ جوه المدرسه ولا بعيد؟
نعم؟
الكونستراكشن ده موجود جوه المدرسه ولا بعيد؟
لا، بره المدرسه. مسمح لهم يطلعوا بره المدرسه.
اوكي.
في اللانش تايم.
ايوه فندم. اوكي.
فهل تعتبر إصابة عمل ولا مش إصابة عمل؟
طب ممكن أعرف إمتى؟
نعم؟
ممكن أعرف إمتى حصل كده؟
الشهر اللي فات.
الشهر اللي فات. راحت للدكتور يا فندم؟
راحت وقعدت في المستشفى تقريبا 23 يوم 23
يوم. طيب المبنى اللي هو وقع عليها الكونستراكشن، حد هي دخلت قالت انتوا وقعتوا عليا حاجه ولا لا؟
لا، في سور وقع عليها.
انا فاهمه، بس السور ده بتاع حد يا فندم؟
نعم؟ السور
ده بتاع يعني حد يملكه، مظبوط؟
لا، شركه بتبني مبنى جديد.
بس انت
شركه مستقبل بتبني مبنى جديد يعني.
طب استاذ لطيف، هل حضراتكم حاولتوا تكلموا الشركه دي ولا لا؟
لا، ما احنا ما كلمناهاش.
اوكي.
هو الاسعاف جت وخدتها على المستشفى.
الاسعاف جت اخدتها. اوكي.
عندها كسور او شموخ في الحوض ورجليها وبطنها تعبانه.
اوكي.
هل تعتبر إصابة عمل ولا مش؟
اوكي انا هسأله، بس تقريبا هيكون ان الشركة دي حضراتكم لازم تكلموها، وانت عندك I think الكيس كويسة. خليني اسأله one second. Okay, his daughter, she's working at school, and during the date she take 45 minutes outside of the school, so she was walking outside, and part of construction belongs to different company. Following her, the emergency came, and she been at the hospital for 21 days, and she has many like bruises and I think broken bones like in many area of her body. So he's asking, is she's eligible for work compensation or not?
First of all, I'm sorry to hear about your daughter, and I hope everything goes well for her and she recovers from his injury promptly and completely. As far as the question about workers' comp, if the injury happened during the scope of employment,
Yes.
she will be subject to workers' compensation claim, but she also have a claim against the construction company or the property that their building fall on her or cause injury. So she may have two claims.
Two claims, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, actually I already asked him about the company, the construction company. They never contacted the construction company. Even the construction company, they have no idea that there is someone already injured.
That can be taken care of if they go to an attorney, and then they can take
Mr.
care of
لطيف
this.
حضرتك بتتكلم من أي ولاية؟ مستر لطيف. طيب مستر لطيف مش موجود معانا. اوكي مستر لطيف حضرتك لو تقدر تكلمني بس تاني. هو بيقول لحضرتك طبعا بيتأسف على اللي حصل لبنتك، بيقول لك ان شاء الله تشفى سريعا، وبيقول لك انت عندك دلوقتي 2 claims، واحد ضد المدرسة لأن ده حصل في الوقت بتاع المدرسة، فده ممكن تكليم تعمل يعني تسوق المدرسة. وكمان أهم حاجة دلوقتي المبنى اللي وقع على بنتك ده من شركة بتاعت كونستراكشن، هم لازم يعني يترفع عليهم قضية أو حاجة لأنهم كانوا مهملين. طب مستر لطيف قول لي أنت من أي ولاية؟
Also, I want to make sure that Mr. Latif understands.
Oh, New York, okay.
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 What happened?
No, he's from New York.
Okay. But the injury is in California, correct?
No, the injuries was in New York as well.
Oh, I don't know anything about New York workers' compensation.
Okay.
I don't know whether they have that program or not.
Okay.
But as far as the construction is concerned, I'm pretty sure the tort law in New York should be close to California.
Yes.
And for that, she may be receiving
Yes.
some kind of a claim and compensation.
Okay. Do you have any other comments for him? He should go to the lawyer right away.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
And I'm surprised that, first of all, when the injury happened, did the ambulance came right there and then?
Yes, 3 months ago, and the
Ambulance,
yes.
And how about the police?
كان عملتوا أي ريبورت في البوليس؟
البوليس جاء وعمل ريبورت وفي صور.
And they have pictures too. Okay.
So if the police came and ambulance came, so there's a good record, and all your attorney, once you get an attorney, all he has to do is find out the owner of the company, and then they file a claim.
Exactly. طب أستاذ لطيف يا ريت ما تسيبش حق بنتك يعني، وألف سلام عليها إن شاء الله تبقى كويسة، بس ممكن تروح لمحامي، ممكن تكلمنا في الكنترول. سيب رقمك في الكنترول وأنا هبعت رقمك لحد المحامين، أو هكلمك أديك رقم حد المحامين موجود في نيويورك، وأنت عندك قضية كويسة. نعم يا فندم؟
لا هو السؤال هل يعتبر إصابة عمل ولا؟
يس يا فندم، هو قال لك تعتبر إصابة عمل. أيوه.
عشان هو وقت الدروس
مظبوط يا
فندم. مصروف بره المبنى يعني بره المدرسة.
يس يا فندم، هو قال لك تعتبر إصابة عمل. أيوه.
شكرا ليك.
أشكرك، ألف سلامة على بنتك. شكرا.
والله يخليك، الحمد لله سلامتك ومنورين الشاشة.
شكرا، ميرسي خالص، ويا ريت تتابعنا يا فندم دايما كل أسبوع. شكرا. Thank you, Mr. Latif. Okay, thank you so much. So we were talking about the foreclosure again, and you said it will be like front of the court.
Well, some places in front of a courthouse, some in a city hall. Some it depends on location, but it's a public place.
But to protect your house, you have to do modification for the loan, and you said second option. What is it? Or second solution?
Pay off the past due.
Oh, pay off the past due. Okay.
If you're 10 months behind, if you can put the money together and pay them off, then they cannot foreclose on you.
Okay. Okay. So what else about foreclosure we can talk about?
If the homeowner, for whatever reason, cannot bring the house current and does not qualify for foreclosure, for loan modification, and they don't want to be foreclosed, then another option is, and that's the option that they have to offer, is either deed in lieu or short sale. What is deed in lieu? Deed in lieu is that you give this title back to the lender and walk away. No claim, everybody goes home. That's deed in lieu. Short sale is that you get an approval from the lender to sell your house for the value that most probably it is below the amount of loan. That's why it's called short sale.
Short sale, okay.
Your loan is not paid off because the value. Let's say you have $700,000 loan, and then your house worth about $600, and then you sell it for $600 with the approval of the bank. That $100,000 difference is the short sale because you didn't pay off, so the banks write it off. And to do the short sale, you have to get the approval from the bank, of course. Now, the advantage with short sale and deed in lieu is that there is no record for you that you were foreclosed on your credit history.
So you can go back and buy other houses with no problem.
Yeah, this way you save your credit from more derogatory report. You're already reported for being X number of months behind.
Yes.
But at least there's no foreclosure on your
so you're working with dignity.
Yes.
As you say. Okay.
And you are entitled to relocation. 10 to 20, 30,000 maybe dollars.
Okay, so that's a great actually point. We'll talk about other things after we take Sally. Sally, اتفضلي.
الو مساء الخير.
مساء النور.
ازي حضرتك عامله ايه؟
اهلا بيكي.
احنا بنشكرك كتير كتير بجد على البرنامج الحلو ده.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
احنا فعلا بنستفاد منكم وتعبينكم معانا، هي قناه جميله.
Thank you so much.
حبيبتي معلش انا سالي معاكي. حبيبتي انا كنت شغاله 1099.
انت فين حبيبتي؟ بتتكلمي منين؟
انا في كاليفورنيا.
كاليفورنيا، اوكي.
بس فانا وقعت في الحمام في الشغل.
اوكي.
عورت. فانا خفت يعني ان انا اتكلم وكده، يعني مشوني من الشغل وكده.
امتى عملتي حصل لك كده؟
وانا في الشغل.
ايوه امتى؟ من كام؟
امتى؟ من 15 يوم.
اوكي 15 days ago. اوكي. اوكي.
بس فانا ممكن لو انا قلت يعني يعني هيمشوني من الشغل او كده ولا ايه؟ انا عايزه اعرف.
اوكي. انت اتعورتي او رحتي المستشفى او اي حاجه؟
لا ما رحتش.
اوكي. طب انت عايزه تقولي دلوقتي ليه؟
انا عايزه اقول انا فعلا تعبانه. بس انا
انت تعبانه يعني؟
انا تعبانه. بس
أوكي.
انا خايفه يمشوني يعني.
بس ما رحتيش للدكتور برضو؟
لا رحت للدكتور بس ما قلتش انا واقعه في الشغل.
اوكي. اوكي. خلاص شكرا حبيبتي. ميرسي. ثانك يو.
هتردي عليا يعني اتابع البرنامج؟
Yes of course. Thank you so much,
you,
حبيبتي. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, طيب. Okay, Sally, she said 15 days ago she was at work and she fell down in the restroom and she was so scared to tell her boss, so he maybe fire her or something. And she said she went to the doctor, but she's in pain, but she just went to the doctor and she left. So she's asking if she can go back and ask for compensation or something.
Okay, this happened in California?
Yes, in California.
Okay, you don't go and ask for compensation. You go and report the incident that happened 15 days ago and have your employer send you to the doctor for treatment. If you are disabled or if you cannot go to work for a while, then you are subject to receiving temporary disability payment, which is 2/3 of your weekly or monthly pay.
But the problem, she didn't even tell the doctor that she fell in her work. She just told him, I fell.
That becomes a little problem for her.
Yes, like there is no proof.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, there's a credibility issue here. I wish she had told the doctor that I fell at the restroom at work and I have a pain in my back or leg, whatever the case may be. So, and also depends on her relationship with her employer. If she's been working for a while over there and they respect her, they believe in her, and then when she said, this is the story, this is what happened, and they may believe her. And then
it's a little bit hard because she has no, like cases like that, we should like go out and speak up, right?
Well, yes, when you fall, again, when you get injured at work, you have to go and let them know, especially if, in this case, the injury, the fall was not her fault. If the toilet, the restroom had some wet and some stuff on the floor that caused her to fall and get injured, she should definitely mention it to the employer. Therefore, nobody else get injured.
اوكي ثانك يو سو ماتش. يعني لما نقع نطلع ونقول علشان خاطر ده يعني حقنا، ما حصلش حاجه غلط، انتوا وقعتوا غصب عنكم عشان لو كان في ميه او اي حاجه في الفلور. طيب we have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes go ahead sir.
Okay, my name is Tony. I have a question about foreclosure.
Okay, go ahead.
So I have these properties. It's about should I get cost of the property or just
yes sir.
Yeah. So my property cost about $750,000, and basically I cannot afford making payments anymore to my mortgage. I owe to the bank about $925,000.
Wow. Okay.
And so the bank basically tells me that I need to just sell it or hand the property into them because I guess I cannot continue to make payments on something that costs so little.
Yes. Okay. So what is the
My question is that how much is property worth now?
750 he said, but he owes 950 I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
I owe $925,000 to the bank.
925. Okay.
And how much are you behind?
How much am I what?
Behind in your mortgage payment?
My payment, the last two payments I didn't make.
So only 2 payments behind?
I'm 2 payments behind, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make the third one coming up.
Okay. I think it is premature for you or for the bank talk about foreclosure. Is it possible for you to apply for loan modification with your lender to see if they can?
I tried that route, and they said that I don't qualify because I can't show much income at the moment.
When did you apply for loan modification?
About 4 months ago.
And who's your lender?
My lender is Bank of America, is the one who serviced the loans.
I'm sorry, who?
Bank of America.
No.
Bank of America.
No, who's the servicer?
The servicer, I think, is Fannie Mae.
No, Fannie Mae is the note holder. Bank of America is the servicer. Fannie Mae,
Right, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. Fannie Mae, which is a semi-federal agency, I'm surprised that they told you so fast that you don't qualify because you don't make enough income.
But right now, I've already pre-financed utilizing the TARP program, and now basically they told me I can only refinance it once, and for a loan modification, I need to show so much money of income, and I don't qualify for that.
Normally, you are supposed to show 3 times your mortgage payment, whatever it's going to be, that you're making gross income. That's normally. Now,
correct.
If, God forbid, all the opportunities are close to you, then short sale and DDLU will be your option. And from what you are telling me, because you owe about a couple of $100,000 more than your house worth, then you may be subject to a short sale. But before you go that route, my recommendation is to you is contact Keep Your Home California, and this is a California organization, government agency that can help homeowners to keep their home. And you may be also subject to some reimbursement for your past due amount and some reduction. So don't give hope and don't just think of foreclosure. Immediately contact Keep Your Home California. Go to the website, search Keep Your Home California. Their website comes up. Contact them, and they may be able to help you.
Thank you so much.
That's great. That's good news. Is it TV Home California?
No.
Like TV?
No.
Or no?
Keep Your Home California.
Keep your home. Keep your home.
Keep Your Home. Okay. Yeah, the line is pretty bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, Keep Your Home California, and then they're going to be able to assist me there.
Yeah, you just go to the website. There's the 800 number. Call them, and then they will go over the process with you. It takes about 30 to 45 days to come with an answer. And again, your foreclosure is months away. So don't worry about foreclosure right now. First, find a solution to save your home, and Keep Your Home California may be the right way for you.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is good news. Thank you. You're honestly a miracle. Right time. Honestly, I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much for watching us.
Really awesome. Thanks a lot for helping me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good luck.
I'm so happy. Thank
you.
Good luck.
Okay, that's actually I never heard about that Keep Your Home program. So it's like an organization for California.
It's a California program, and it is designed to help the homeowners that fall behind in their mortgage, and they want to keep their home. By the way, it only is for primary residence, not for rental, not for anything else.
Okay.
And then they can even give you up to $100,000 if you're behind, tax-free.
Yeah, actually, I'm sure like you have a great experience there, and I'm sure that there is more treasures we can gain from you. We thank you so much, and we thank all our viewers. Mr. Majid Safai, his office, Arya Law Center, executing at Costa Mesa. Sorry, الكاميرات معكساني. He's in Costa Mesa, and he has lots of service he can offer to you. Victim of criminal, زي ما قلت لكم في الأول. Also foreclosure. Also, medical malpractice. We didn't get a time to talk about it today.
Hopefully next time.
Next time. I know your time is very valuable, sir.
Thank you.
Also, immigration. So he has a lot to offer. He has lots of experience and information. Thank you for all the information, sir. And we wish to see you next month, maybe.
Thank you. For
Thank
sure.
you so much. أشكركم أعزائنا المشاهدين. الحلقة الجاية إن شاء الله يوم 31. يوم 31 3 هيكون معانا دكتور راجي صادق. He's a pediatric and he can يعني بيعالج الدايت مش دايت بيعالج بالعمليات. طيب هشوفكم ان شاء الله الحلقه الجايه مع دكتور راجي صادق. لو حد عنده اي مشاكل في السمنه في الوزن التقيل، دكتور راجي بيساعد ناس كتير جدا جدا، وساعد اكشلي هو عنده 6 شهور دلوقتي بيهايند، محدش يقدر يكلمه او يروح يعمل عمليه عنده 6 شهور، بس هو اي حد بيكلمه في الحلقه بياخده رايت اواي. هيبقى great show. Please watch me every Friday at 6 كاليفورنيا تايم و9 نيويورك تايم. بحبكم كتير، ربنا يحافظ عليكم. وصلوا للبرنامج واشوفكم الحلقه الجايه. باي.
اسال مع ميرا.